Good morning. This is Elder Tracy Carr coming to you with Kingdom Money Wednesdays and being a Christian entrepreneur. And today I want to talk about customer service. Is your customer service making or breaking your business? That's something we need to think about. Amen. Now, what is customer service? Customer service is the support you offer your customer both before and after they buy or use your product or service. This helps them have an easy, enjoyable experience with your brand. Amen. Now, as a Christian entrepreneur, this is an awesome way to let our light shine. Because honestly, the times that we're living in with people's money and the changes on jobs and things of that nature, people are being really conscious as to who and where they spend their money with. And the day is gone where you can treat people any kind of way and expect them to continue to spend their money with you. So this is a great opportunity to showcase God, showcase your light, and just show the fruit of the Spirit in your business. Amen. And in Matthew 7 and 12, this is really the golden rule, I feel, of customer service. But Matthew 7 and 12 says, "Therefore, whatever you want men to do to you, do also to them. For this is the law and the prophets." So basically, what you want done to you, you do them to others. And so if you want someone to treat you with respect, if you want someone to treat you with kindness, if you want someone to treat you polite in customer service, that's the same thing you offer to someone else. Amen. As it relates to your own business. Okay, just remember this, as Christian entrepreneurs, this is just a tangible way that we can showcase God and our business. Because one thing it's a saying, people remember how you make them feel. And when you're showing and offering and they're utilizing your service or they buy your product, the way you make them feel is what's gonna keep them coming back. If you make them feel like trash or like you just want their money, they're not coming back. So we want to make sure that we have the right customer service as Christian entrepreneurs. Amen. Some of the things that we must have, we want to make sure that we have problem solving skills. We want to make sure we listen to the customer. We want to make sure we understand what they're saying. We want to make sure we have clear communication. Make sure they're understanding what we're telling them about our product, about our prices. I had a situation where a customer asked me my price, and I shared with her the price, and she picked up several pieces of product, but she thought I said another price, which was a much lower than my price. So we got to just make sure that when we communicate our prices, when we communicate our sizes, when we communicate how the sizes run or how the services, just whatever it is, we got to make sure that we do that clear, okay? Because we don't want people thinking one thing and then they get irate or frustrated and then don't want to purchase the product or utilize the service because we miscommunicated something or they perceived it differently. Amen. And also we want to make sure that we're friendly and polite. A pleasant attitude goes far. Amen. That's where we can let our light shine. Even when the customer may appear to be frustrated about something or we want to just be able to have that light and that calmness and that pleasantness to be able to bring them in and still be able to help them and just to close the sale, basically, but be genuine in it. Amen. We want to make sure we have knowledge of our product. We don't want to just be selling something because we feel like it's gonna give us a great harvest, but we want to make sure that we have knowledge of the product, because one thing a person hates is when they ask you something about your product and you don't know. That's poor customer service. And then we want to have patience. No matter how long it takes them to make their decision and what it is, we want to make sure that we have patience, and we don't want them to feel like we are rushing them, or we don't care, or we have lack of concern. Amen. So those are just a few rules of customer service. Galatians 5:22 and 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such there is no law." So just reading those fruits of the Spirit, every last one of them can be utilized in our business. So again, as a Christian entrepreneur, make sure that your customer service is representation of Christ and representation of Christ in your business. Amen. Amen. This is Elder Tracy Carr with Kingdom Money Wednesdays. You be blessed.